Chapter 5, Letter from a Pre-Med. To which Newt replied,
I'm sorry to be so long about answering your letter. That sounds like a very interesting book you're doing. I was so young when the bomb was dropped that I don't think I'm going to be much help. You should really ask my brother and sister, who are both older than I am. My sister is Mrs. Harrison C. Connors, 4918 North Meridian Street, Indianapolis, Indiana. That is my home address too now. I think she'll be glad to help you. Nobody knows where my brother Frank is. He disappeared right after father's funeral 2 years ago, and nobody has heard from him since. For all we know, he may be dead now. I was only 6 years old when they dropped the atomic bomb in Hiroshima, so anything I remember about that day, other people have helped me to remember. I remember I was playing on the living room carpet outside my father's study door in Ilium, New York. The door was open, and I could see my father. He was wearing pajamas and a bathrobe. He was smoking a cigar. He was playing with a loop of string. Father was staying home from the laboratory in his pajamas all day, that day. He stayed home whenever he wanted to. Father, as you probably know, spent practically his whole professional life working for the research laboratory of the General Forge and Foundry Company in Ilium. When the Manhattan Project came along, the bomb project, Father wouldn't leave Ilium to work on it. He said he wouldn't work on it at all unless they let him work where he wanted to work. A lot of that time, that meant at home. The only place he liked to go outside of Ilium was our cottage on Cape Cod. Cape Cod was where he died. He died on a Christmas Eve. You probably know that too. Anyway, I was playing on the carpet outside his study on the day of the bomb. My sister Angela tells me I used to play with the little toy trucks for hours, making motor sounds, going Burton, 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 all the time. So I guess I was going Burton, Burton, Burton on the day of the bomb, and Father was in his study playing with a loop of string. It so happens I know where the string he was playing with came from. Maybe you can use it somewhere in your book. Father took the string from around the manuscript of a novel that a man in prison had sent him. The novel was about the end of the world in the year 2000, and the name of the book was 2000 AD. It told about how mad scientists made a terrific bomb that wiped out the whole world. There was a big sex orgy where everybody knew what the world was going to end, and then Jesus Christ himself appeared 10 seconds before the bomb went off. The name of the author was Marvin Sharp Holderness, and he told Father in a covering letter that he was in prison for killing his own brother. He sent the manuscript to Father because he couldn't figure out what kind of explosive to put in the bomb. So he thought maybe Father could make suggestions. Now, I don't mean to tell you I read the book when I was 6. We had it around the house for years. My brother Frank made it his personal property on account of the dirty parts. Frank kept it hidden in what he called his wall safe in his bedroom. Actually, it wasn't a safe, just an old stove flue with a tin lid. Frank and I must have read the orgy part 1,000 times when we were kids. We had it for years, and then my sister Angela found it. She read it and said it was nothing but a piece of dirty, rotten filth. She burned it up and the string with it. She was a mother to Frank and me because our real mother died when I was born. My father never read the book, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he ever read a novel or even a short story in his whole life. Or at least not since he was a little boy. He didn't read his mail or magazines or newspapers either. I suppose he read a lot of technical journals, but to tell you the truth, I can't remember my father reading anything. As I say, all he wanted from a manuscript was the string. That was the way he was. Nobody could predict what he was going to be interested in next. On the day of the bomb, it was string. Have you ever read the speech he made when he accepted the Nobel Prize? This is the whole speech. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you now because I have never stopped dawdling like an 8-year-old on a spring morning on his way to school. Anything can make me stop and look and wonder, and sometimes learn. I am a very happy man. Thank you. So anyway, Father looked at that loop of string for a while, and then his fingers started playing with it. His fingers made the string figure called a cat's cradle. I don't know where Father learned how to do that. His father, maybe? His father was a tailor, you know, so there must have been thread and string around all the time when Father was a boy. Making that cat's cradle was the closest I ever saw my father come to playing what anybody else would call a game. He had no use at all for tricks and games and rules that other people made up. In a scrapbook my sister Angela used to keep up, there was a clipping from Time magazine where somebody asked Father what games he played for relaxation, and he said, Why should I bother with made-up games when there are so many real ones going on? He must have surprised himself when he made a cat's cradle out of the string, and maybe it reminded him of his own childhood. He all of a sudden came out of his study and did something he'd never done before. He tried to play with me. Not only had he never tried to play with me before, he'd hardly ever even spoken to me, but he went down on his knees on the carpet next to me. He showed me his teeth and he waved that tangle of string in my face. See? 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 He asked. Cat's cradle. See the cat's cradle? See where the nice pussycat sleeps? Meow. Meow. His pores looked as big as craters on the moon. His ears and nostrils were stuffed with hair. Cigar smoke made him smell like the mouth of hell. So close up, my father was the ugliest thing I'd ever seen. I dream about that all the time. And then he sang, "Rock-a-bye Catsy in the treetop." He sang, "When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. If the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. Down will come cradle, Catsy and all." I burst into tears. I jumped up and I ran out of the house as fast as I could go. I have to sign off here. It's after 2 in the morning. My roommate just woke up and complained about the noise from the typewriter.